Hey guys, welcome back. This is the Rocky IV 1985 MGM film. This is Rocky IV, and
Round
this is
four.
considered, round 4 right now. This is considered James's favorite in the film, so I'm going to let him take the reins on this one. But before we get started, shout out to everybody that checked out all the ones ahead of time, and shout out to our editors and to our artist Christopher, who's been supplying us with the art. It really catches
amazing.
your eye, really gets it going. So let's show a photo of Chris right now. There's Chris. But now he's gone. Before we get started, I just wanted to say there was a bit of a mix-hap with the third one. We did mention that Polly bought or got a robot. That actually takes place in this film, the fourth film. It's our goof. We goofed up. We're like Conor McGregor right now. We got broke with the leg. We real screwed up just now, so it won't happen again. It might happen again. Who knows? That being said, let's get started. So James, take us off.
Yes.
What do you think about this movie? Like from the start point.
It well, like all the Rocky movies, it starts from the end of Rocky 3. And all the Rocky movies does this. So, straight after, and the aftermath of Rocky 3, he won against
Clubber Lang.
Yeah. Clubber Lang, and
it's kind of going into a post-retirement of sorts, sort of.
Yeah, he's kind of winding down.
He seems to be retired. He's always seems to be retiring in these movies.
He's taking it easy. He spends more time with the family because I suppose he's compensating for all the time he's missing because he's fighting a lot. So he's just spending time with the fam.
Yeah.
It's he comes out of that. It's Paulie's birthday.
Yeah, Paulie's birthday started off the bat. This is again another flu. We're seeing Rocky really spending money again. He's really spending his cash. It's really kind of like he bought
really goes for this one.
He buys like double everything. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
So.
And you have Rocky Jr. filming him coming out and stuff. And,
yeah.
And so this is where the robot comes up. So Rocky has bought
This is where this one is really cheesy. This one really lays into the cheese, and I don't think it really kind of recovers. I personally don't. I don't know. This is the one that everybody likes, and I'm a little bit torn.
A lot of the casual Rocky fans say this is the best one. I find it the best one. I find the cheese in this film isn't as bad. It's not as cheesy as Rocky 3. Like Rocky 3 at the beginning was a lot of cheese.
This one's all throughout. There's this subtle cheese. I think it's really got to do with the Cold War aspirations. And
yeah, there's Cold War, and you have Apollo comes down for the birthday too.
Apollo, yeah, exactly. Apollo, but what happens after the birthday and all this stuff like that is that Apollo kind of says, hey. He's kind of bringing himself out of retirement as well to fight this fight against the all upcoming giant champion Drago, which is the Russian boxer and whatnot. Russia's really kind of wanting to enter the American market and basically saying that they're the best. And Apollo is supposed to represent America and all that with his his style and whatnot. So I found that this was a step back for the character because all the progress made between him and Rocky and just him as a character in general throughout the franchise is kind of, I don't know, in my opinion, I feel like it lost all its values when he starts showboating like a dipshit again, all over again, and the excess of part of the scene here being, the song, the song and dance that they do with and he's dressed up like Uncle Sam and everything.
James Brown's song, his entrance,
yeah,
Living in
the entrance song and everything.
Oh
Living in America, right? Yeah, it just. It was so cheesy, and you're just dude, everything he learned up until this point seemed so pointless. So I don't know. And then if you go ahead, James, what happens next with Apollo during this fight?
Spoiler alert, people. He dies.
Warned. He dies. Fucking murdered.
He got marked, bro. He
He
dies. He
gets
got
killed,
fucked
and
up
then Rocky.
in the
Now
second
Rocky has
round.
to come out of retirement to kind of like a vengeance kind of thing, and so the
Yeah,
rest of this movie is really just
revenge.
like revenge, and like whereas all the other movies have always been about like a lesson to be learned. This one is flat
Loss.
out just revenge. It's about loss again. We've already dealt with loss and how one deals with stuff, but like every other one, he felt like he couldn't do it because he didn't have somebody in his
Rocky was
corner.
really affected in this.
And
He was
and the other
really.
ones, it felt like he didn't have like anybody in his corner, but he did. He had his family, he had his friends, he had Paulie, he had his wife Adrian, and he
Yeah.
had
And
Mick.
Mary
Now that
Jane.
Mick was gone and everything like that, it just seemed, I don't know. It just seemed like a ruthless, just a story of revenge.
Yeah. I suppose like he was going off on just pure rage. I suppose
Yeah,
just pure rage and
but
like to
yeah,
be fair, to be fair, Rocky was kind of cagey about Drago from the beginning. Whenever before
yeah.
like
He
Creed,
warns, and he full blown
he
warns
he
Apollo
full on
about it. And
warns
there's the
him.
thing. That's why I understand why everyone likes it because of the training and the big fight. The fight in this one is absolutely like a really
Oh
big
yeah,
lead up to it. The training, as always, the training is amazing. Seeing him train out in the
absolutely. In
wilderness and
Siberia,
kind of
in
going
Siberia,
in Siberia and just like kind of getting really primal about it. And you can see a primal
freezing
version of,
temperatures.
yeah, freezing temperatures and all this stuff that is happening to Rocky. But seeing him with the beard for a change,
Oh yeah, I
he's
liked it.
in it. He's in it to, for his friend. He's in it to,
Yeah,
prove himself and prove it to the world. Um,
and Adrian didn't
but
want him to go. He didn't want him to go
Adrian,
straight because
yeah, because he like this dude's a
he thought he was
monster.
gonna
I
get.
mean,
He
he's
thought he
up,
was gonna
and
kill him.
and it's also in the backgrounds we're seeing the training process for Drago, and he's like, he's a bit of a monster the way they're doing
He
stuff. They're
is a
putting like
freak
they're shooting him up with steroids and stuff like that,
of
and
roids.
his
Yeah,
a big part of this movie is how hard he can punch versus the regular man, and it's just like
it's scary.
it's
It's
scary.
scary.
Yeah, the numbers and everything is a change up thing, but definitely a focus on this movie is Cold War and like the tensions
Yep.
between
East
America
versus
at the
West.
time. 85. I mean, they were still Soviet at this point when this movie
Oh
came out,
yeah,
or and
yeah, they
so
were.
they
Yeah,
stopped being Soviet Union in 1992, I believe. I might be wrong
yeah.
about that.
That was
This movie
correct. I
was in
think.
90. It was in 85, so
Yeah,
I think there was high tensions at the time. It was kind of the new thing to kind of
yeah.
rag
Because
on
like
the
they were
Russian.
they were competing against each other. They competed against each other in the space race, and in this sense, it
Yeah,
was
Cold War, man.
boxing. Yeah, telling you, them Russians. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that the lead up is to definitely like using his speed and stuff against him,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Knowing
he was
that
real trim.
he's like a dangerous foe to get close. That's why everyone really likes it. Is that it's really overcoming the
Mhm.
absolute impossible. So
It's
uh,
like the
the
classic
fight
David
is,
versus Goliath.
yeah, yeah, exactly. That's perfect. That's a perfect representation of what this is. But I understand why it's the best. But I personally think for story purposes, for like character building, I find it really didn't do much difference for what Rocky almost always sets out to do. And I felt it was
Hmm.
a step back for characters like Apollo. And
Yeah,
I didn't care for that much. That's me though. I know a
I
lot of
understand
people, and
that.
I know Lane, our friend Lane. Shout out to Lane if he's watching this. But
Yeah,
we were talking about this before we went to record this, me and him, and he says if he dies, he dies,
it
and I think
does.
that's a perfect
I think it's the
representation.
most. I think it's the
It's
most
the most
quotable.
quotable part in that whole movie, and in a lot of these movies too.
I must
It's
break
really
you.
what it is. Whatever happens, happens for this film. It's really kind of it is what it is.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm giving it a 6.5 out of 10. What about you, James? It's your favorite. Don't let my decision determine what you
For
do.
me, for me, because I enjoyed, although the character development did take a bit of a backward step, I enjoyed the training sequence and the music of this film. Drago's theme, I have it on my playlist.
Yeah. You were
So
looking for that one for a while too. You're like, I can't
yeah,
find it.
yeah, I was. But with that being said, I'm giving it an 8. I'm giving this bad boy an 8.
Bad Boy gets an 8 out of 10 from James and a 6 out of half. always say 6 1/4, but like 6.5 out of 10 for me. That's Rocky 3. Or sorry, Rocky 4. Duh.
Yeah,
Yo,
Rocky IV.
put a picture of Tally. I can't remember shit. I'm retarded. Yeah.
Always for a
Thanks.
towel.
I'm a towel. Don't forget to bring a towel. I'll suck your dick if you don't look me in the eye. We're off.
Brilliant.
We're off. We're way
Yeah.
off. Thanks for watching our video. This has been Rocky 4. Check out our other videos if they're out now, and go ahead and check out the old videos if you haven't and you skipped ahead. I'm Ethan. This is
I'm James.
Yeah, and thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you can, if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next review.